Mr. Gluck.
Thank you, President Florine and members of the Council, for this opportunity to address you. I'm George Gluck from Rockville, Maryland. Here's the stated problem. Transient lodging facilities that are owned by a private company and used solely to accommodate its staff, contractors, and vendors are currently required to pay the county transient room tax, although they are not open to the general public. This argument is a non sequitur. Other similar facilities borders are required to pay this tax, not because these facilities are open to the general public, but because they just as the Lockheed Martin Center for Leadership Excellence, use an abundance of county services. If there's a fire at this Lockheed Martin corporate facility, will Montgomery County send fewer fire trucks than we would to a fire at the Hyatt? If a crime is committed, will we send fewer detectives than we would to the DoubleTree? If a Lockheed employee has an accident, will we not send the same ambulance we send to an accident victim at a Marriott hotel? And might that employee not use our county court system to sue? Will we not clear the snow from the county-maintained road around this Lockheed facility the same way we do for the Bolger? Of course, we do, and we will continue to. Since we certainly will not curtail this corporate facility's use of our services, why are we even considering relieving Lockheed Martin of their duty to pay their fair share of the cost of these services? The Montgomery County vision statement is helping to make Montgomery County the best place to be through efficient, effective, and responsive government that delivers quality services. Do we really want one of those services to be, quote, to help Montgomery County companies be competitive in bidding on federal government contracts by ensuring that they are not required to pay, unquote? To pay what? Today's goal and objective is for Lockheed to not be required to pay the county transient room taxes. Which company seeking to be competitive will next request to not be required to pay their fair share? Here's the essence, pardon me. Here's the essence of the argument as communicated to the Council by the County Executive. Quote, the Defense Contract Audit Agency requires the company to use its internal employee credit card system to allocate charges to the appropriate federal contract. Left paren. Lockheed Martin has an agreement to charge the federal per diem rate in all of its federal contracts. Right paren, close quote. This, too, is a very cleverly crafted non sequitur argument. While the DCAA requires the company to use this credit card, it does not require Lockheed Martin to charge the federal per diem rate in all of its federal contracts. Federal Acquisition Regulation Travel Cost Principle 31.205-46 states that costs for lodging incurred by a contractor traveling on official company business under a government contract are allowable if they do not exceed on a daily basis the maximum per diem rates in effect at the time of travel. The argument that Lockheed Martin has is, in fact, the agreement that Lockheed Martin has is, in fact, the maximum it may charge, but is not required to do so. If Lockheed Martin wishes to be exempted from this tax, it is within their power to do so by not charging boarders at all, since 7% of zero is zero. Lockheed Martin is a publicly traded corporation and as such has a fiduciary responsibility to maximize profits, which this request is an example of. Therefore, as a part owner of Lockheed Martin, I'm in favor of this request, but as a citizen of Montgomery County, I demand that the council members representing me vote no on Bill 44-10. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gluck.